Welcome to this in-depth exploration of one of the most profound and poetic books of the Bible. Today we'll take a closer look at the age-old questions this text wrestles with. Why do the righteous suffer? How do we maintain faith during trials? And what does the story of Job reveal about the nature of God? It begins by introducing us to Job, a man of great wealth and righteousness, living in the land of Uz. He's described as blameless and upright, a man who fears God and turns away from evil. His life appears perfect. He has 7 sons, 3 daughters, and vast riches. But everything is about to change. In the opening chapters, the story shifts to a scene in the heavenly realm, where God praises Job's righteousness. However, Satan, the adversary, challenges this. He argues that Job is only faithful because of the blessings he has received from God. Take away everything he owns, Satan says, and he will surely curse you to your face. God agrees to let Satan test Job, allowing him to take everything away except for Job's life. And thus begins Job's unimaginable suffering. Disaster strikes swiftly. Job loses all his wealth, his livestock is killed, his servants are slaughtered, and worst of all, his children perish in a sudden calamity. Despite this immense loss, Job doesn't curse God. Instead, he utters these famous words. But the test doesn't end there. Satan strikes Job's health, afflicting him with painful sores from head to toe. His wife urges him to give up, to curse God and die. But Job responds. Job's unwavering faith is clear, but the real challenge is only beginning. In his anguish, Job's friends come to comfort him. But what begins as silent support soon turns into a heated theological debate. Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar insist that Job must have sinned, for surely God wouldn't let a righteous man suffer this way. Despite their reasoning, Job maintains his innocence. He knows he has done nothing to deserve this suffering and begins questioning the justice of God. Why, he asks, do the wicked often prosper while the innocent suffer? A fourth character, Elihu, appears and rebukes both Job and his friends, arguing that suffering can be a way to bring people closer to God. However, the most significant moment comes when God himself speaks to Job from a whirlwind. God doesn't answer Job's questions directly. Instead, he challenges Job, asking him if he was present when the foundations of the earth were laid, if he can control the seas, the stars, or the great creatures of the world. God's speech reveals the vastness of divine wisdom and how limited human understanding truly is. Faced with the overwhelming power and knowledge of God, Job humbly repents, not because he has sinned, but because he now realizes that human beings cannot fully grasp God's ways. In the final chapter, God restores Job's fortunes, blessing him with twice as much as before. Job is granted new children, his health is restored, and he lives a long and prosperous life. But more importantly, Job's story highlights key lessons on suffering, faith, and the mysteries of God's justice. So what can we take away from that? First, the book doesn't provide easy answers to the question of why the righteous suffer. Instead, it challenges us to accept that God's wisdom is beyond human understanding. Second, Job's faith in the face of suffering teaches us that our relationship with God shouldn't depend on our circumstances. And finally, it reminds us of the dangers of assuming we fully understand God's ways or the reasons behind someone else's suffering. Job's story is one of immense loss, deep questioning, and eventual restoration. It's a reminder that even in our darkest moments, faith can carry us through the unknown. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth studies of the world's most enduring spiritual texts. Let us know in the comments, what do you think is the most important lesson from Job's story? Until next time, stay curious.